our insider. Sean Casey. I'm just saying, you had yourself a moment there yesterday, buddy. 24 hours ago, we're talking about Justin Turner. John Morosi says that his deal looks like it could come this week. There are many suitors. And all of a sudden, Sean Casey goes, I think the Blue Jays would be a great fit. 24 hours later, Justin Turner agrees to a one-year, $13 million deal with Toronto. Fresh off the season, where he hit 276, 23 bombs, career high, 96 RBIs. You could be their primary DH. There's also bonuses in this deal that can boost the contract up $1.5 million. All right, Mr. Insider, what did you know?
Mr. Insider.
What made you think that was the fit? The Blue Jays for Justin Turner?
I just thought it made sense. You know, this guy can still flat out rake. He's a professional. He's a leader in the clubhouse. And I know, Mark Shapiro, Ross Atkins are looking for those kind of players. He can play a little first base, give Vlad a break over there. He can play some third base. There's just so many things he can do. I think this guy has a lot left in him. 96 RBIs last year, over 20 home runs. I think it's a great fit for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, and when you see what they're missing now, right? Belt's not going to be coming back. You see Chapman also out there. Well, there's a bat here who has been very consistent over the last few years. And he fits perfectly in this lineup because the way you look at this whole entire group, you think to yourself, George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, was there too much pressure on them to carry the whole entire ball club? Well, guess what? Now you add Justin Turner here. I think it adds a little bit of consistency and balance to this lineup.
And the other thing is he's not just a slugger. He's 39 years old, and their lineup still looks top-heavy. Dalton Varsho, they were expecting more out of him. They were hoping he could be like a six-hole bat. They had to drop him down to the bottom third. They had a lot of swing and miss after their top three.
Right.
So now you've got 4 right-handed bats in the top of your order, and you're sort of expecting that group to lead the charge. Is that good enough to win the AL East? Take a look at this.
Right.
Is that enough, Sean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Kiermaier had a great year last year. Kirk's got to bounce back. Varsho's got to bounce back. Schneider really came on the scene. Kevin Biggio is the one guy that I'm interested in because watching him at the second half of last year, Carlos, man, he started really going to left center. Don Mattingly got with him a little bit, and I think he's a guy that's going to have a better year in there. But you're right, Greg. After those first few guys, it does fall off a little bit, but there are some wild cards where if those guys can step up and have some years they had previously, they could be okay.
I like your pick right there when you talk about Biggio. One of the things that I've observed is the fact that in the past, he's been extremely patient at the plate. And we celebrate that nowadays, right? You walk and you hit for power, it's all good. But at the end of the day, you gotta have some aggressiveness in you and going after some fastballs instead of taking so many pitches and going too deep into the count. I thought Biggio is making some improvement in that regard, so I expect him to actually take a step up. But you're right, that bottom of the lineup, we can't expect. I don't expect Varsho to have that same type of year. I think he's going to improve. Vlad Guerrero Jr. did not have, his optimal. We know he's better than what he showed last season. So I think it's in the improvement of who is already in this lineup that's going to propel this ball club. Is this enough? I don't think so, Greg.
Yeah.
But they need to improve, especially after 5th to 9.
Big 4.
They need to improve.